And ayan mga kaibigan, good evening Summoners! I am Sphere.
I'm Jay.
You're watching the Garena Premier League 2014 Summer Season. So far, ito ang laban natin for tonight. Let's look at our schedule muna bago tayo mag-proceed sa ating game.
Alright, so tonight we have Azubu Taipei Assassins versus Insidious Gaming Legends, followed by AHQ e-Esports and Insidious Gaming Reaver at 7 p.m. The next match will be at 8 o'clock between Imperial Protein versus AHQ Fighters. Then lastly, it will be the Bangkok Titans versus Azubu Taipei Assassins.
Yes, this is going to be very interesting for our first game for tonight. We have Azubu Taipei Assassins versus Insidious Gaming Legend, and this is going to be very interesting for our team. We all know kung ano yung possible na mangyari, but nagkaroon tayo ng slight problem for our schedule muna. Pero I think since we have here NFL versus Team AHQ, instead of going for Azubu Taipei Assassins and Insidious Gaming Legend, pero okay, since medyo nagkaroon tayo ng konting issue sa ating schedule, let's proceed muna sa ating game ngayon. NFL versus AHQ for tonight.
Alright, so as you can see here, NFL has already banned out 3 champions. They've decided to ban out Kassadin, Pantheon, and Lee Sin, while AHQ has banned out Yasuo, Jax, and Lulu.
Yes, for the ban of Team NFL, dito they banned out Kassadin, Pantheon, and Lee Sin, 2 champions that can go for the jungle role and can surely dominate the laning phase, Kassadin as well in the mid lane. I'm pretty sure that so far ngayon with the 4.9 patch, we all know na sobrang mahirap pa rin mapigilan si Kassadin with his effectiveness in the laning phase. Lalo na kapag nagkaroon siya ng Rift Walk dito, can surely kill a champion in the mid lane. And syempre yung kanyang crowd control, I mean yung kanyang damage output, AoE damage with that Rift Walk and yung kanyang Null Sphere dito. And ang pinakamahirap kay Kassadin pa dito kapag kalaban mo siya ay yung pagiging tanky champion niya. Kapag nagbumuo sa kanya ng item like the Iceborne Gauntlet, getting the item like Spirit Visage, or any other item for his champion.
Yes, I'd just like to apologize to all our viewers just in case you're wondering why iba yung naka-display right now. Our operator is right now editing the names of the teams. We were actually not informed, or at least we didn't know that the teams playing on the first game will be NFL versus AHQ. So there we go. It's been already changed there. So as you can see here, it's now NFL versus AHQ.
So far ngayon, for NFL and the AHQ, it's going to be very interesting mga kaibigan. For Team AHQ, they banned out Yasuo, Jax, and Lulu. 3 champions that could go, 2 champions that could go for top lane. Actually, lahat sila pwede mag-top lane dito, but 2 champions that could go for the mid lane. We have Yasuo and Lulu. Possible magpunta sa mid lane dito against any champion of Team NFL. But looking at the lineup mga kaibigan, for first pick of Team NFL dito, they got Morgana. We all know kung gaano ka-effective si Morgana for the support role or for the mid lane dito kasi dami niyang crowd control. We have yung kanyang Dark Binding and yung kanyang ultimate skill as well. For Team of HQ, they got Thresh and Elise for their first 2 picks.
That's right. Alright, so looks like Shyvana and Lucian has now been locked in. Of course, we've seen Lucian being very dominant aside from Twitch. We haven't seen that much Twitch suddenly. Most people are shifting to the Lucian pick over the Twitch, of course. I wouldn't be surprised if some players will decide to pick up the Twitch once again. Of course, Rides has Thresh, so Thresh would be a good support champion to go with Twitch since Twitch doesn't really have any.
Actually, Green Tea, ito yung favorite champion niya si Thresh. And hindi mo pwedeng ibigay kay Green Tea yung Thresh na to dahil we all know sa lahat ng laban ng Team AHQ dito, talagang ginagamit niya lagi ay si Thresh. And
not only that, he's really good on, he's very proficient on the Thresh. You can see the way he hooks, almost lands, especially those critical hooks, sometimes even some amazing hooks in between minions and champions going to the right target all the time.
Pretty sure that he can surely win the bottom lane dito with his AD carry, pero we never know what the champion of Team NFL dito yung possible na kunin nila. Since they have Morgana that could possibly go for the bottom lane with the AD carry, I'm pretty sure that they can counter Thresh. But so far ngayon sa ating GPL, sa lahat ng laban sa mga previous matches natin dito, hindi pa tayo nakakita ng Morgana na totally naka-dominate against the Thresh dito. Kasi we all know that Thresh, yes, with his Dark Binding skill dito, hindi mo maka-counter mo talaga yung Dead Sentence. Pero you can still use the Q or Dead Sentence again to dive in or at least mag-follow up ng next skill to win the bottom lane dito. Pero pinakamahirap since they have Morgana and Lucian, not to mention Lucian for the AD carry, I think they have the advantage in the bottom lane dito, especially kapag bababa sila ng level 6. But we never know what might happen since ngayon hindi pa nag-upisa ang laban natin. But Jinx with Thresh in the bottom lane against Lucian and Morgana. We'll see what happened. What might happen.
Yes, alright. So, right now, looks like, oh, an Irelia coming from Violet. This is gonna be interesting. I guess Starfall will be using Irelia in the top lane. Of course, Twisted Fate will be their mid laner for this particular game. Been a while since we've seen a lot of these champions, especially Irelia and Twisted Fate. Not very common picks in the GPL, but definitely very strong pickups from before. And I believe Twisted Fate has gotten a little bit more popular. Instead of using Lich Bane, they rather go for uh, building at least at Holy Grail, allowing them to spam their cards more often.
And I think ang isa sa pinakamaganda dito sa lineup of Team NFL, they have Irelia na alam natin lahat na mayroong passive tenacity force champion. So, hindi niya kailangan kumuha ng Mercury Threads to assure na meron siyang survivability pagdating sa crowd control na magagaling from their opponent. AHQ, looking at their lineup, they have Takugun coming from Elise dito, and the Death Sentence as well from Thresh. So far, for the lineup of Team AHQ, they have Thresh, Elise, Gragas, we have Jinx for the AD carry, and syempre, we have, I think ito si Gragas for their last pick, and most probably will go for the top lane since they have the mid lane dito na si Westdoor na gagamitin si Fizz. So Westdoor, Fizz versus
exactly TF.
Fate in the mid lane.
He just basically hard countered TF. Of course, the TF does have his harass at the early levels, but as soon as Fizz hit level 6, TF will be an easy target for Fizz. He will get bursted down so quickly. I really doubt he has any chance of winning the lane, especially how good Westdoor has performed on Fizz. Previously, we've seen him roam very well and pick up so many kills, going crazy on that Fizz, and SOFM has his work cut out for him on the TF.
Isa pang maganda dito for Twisted Fate, I mean for Fizz, one reason kung bakit sinasabi siyang pang hard counter against Twisted Fate is because yung kanyang Playful Trickster na pwede niya gamitin once na magkaroon ng blue card, yellow card, or gold card dito si Twisted Fate. If ever nagamitin niya yung kanyang gold card and then use that for Western mid lane, I'm pretty sure that he can use yung kanyang Playful and disengage as soon as Twisted Fate use that gold card or initiate dito, since kapag ginamit ni Twisted Fate yung kanyang gold card, isang skill na kagad yung nawala sa kanya. If ever na matama niya yung kanyang wild card, yes, successfully hit your wild card, pero since yung pick a card dito ay kailangan mo rin patama for Twisted Fate, it's going to be very hard for SOFM to win against a Fizz. But yes, it's a good decision to get an exhaust for your champion against a Fizz.
Alright, so looking at the composition of NFL right now, Irelia, Shyvana, TF, and Lucian and Morgana, this is not a lineup I've particularly seen played yet in the competitive scene, at least in this mixture together. Of course, Morgana and Lucian should provide a lot of harass in the laning phase against Thresh and Jinx. Alright, so actually the game has loaded in. We will go into Summoner's Rift. Of course, there will be a short pause before we begin the game, making sure that they're probably going to make some last minute adjustments to their settings, making sure that every player has loaded into the game.
Sa lahat ng mga ka-tune in pa lang, you're watching the Green Premier League 2014 Summer Season live, and this is a match between Team NFL versus Team of HQ. So for ngayon, for the lineup of Team NFL, we have Irelia, Shyvana for the jungle, we have Twisted Fate for the mid lane, we have Lucian and Morgana for Team NFL yun. For Team of HQ, we have our top lane, we have Gragas, or ito si Prides, we have Nas for the East, we have Westdoor for Fizz, as well as syempre ang kanilang si Garnet Devil and si Gary. We have as well Green Tea for the Sport Throw. So Thresh, the bottom lane with Jinx once again. Sana makakita tayo ng medyo malupit-lupitang hooks na naman ang ginagawa niya before sa mga previous matches nila dito. And I think nakalaban din sila before ng HQ. I think IPD ba nakalaban nila before or War Gods?
Which team?
Yung AHQ.
Yes, HQ has gone again.
Or hindi pa? Yung HQ sa team kasi na I
believe HQ will be going against War Gods because TPA already went against IPD.
Okay, so let's see. We are looking forward sa mga possible na mangyari dito. But for the lineup of Team AHQ at NFL, as you can see, they have, in terms of crowd control, AHQ have the advantage here. Actually, almost the same lang for both teams dito, since NFL have most likely a huge crowd control champions for their team. They have the AUE crowd control coming from Morgana and the Dark Binding as well for his champion. So for Team of AHQ, they only have the Poon and the Death Sentence from Thresh. Well, let's see kung ano yung possible nilang maging strategy dito. For Jinx as well yung kanyang E. Yung mga minions dito that can surely dominate the teamfight na mangyayari in the later part of the game.
Yes, but definitely Wester wouldn't have any problems even though the crowd control may be in favor of NFL. Because Wester would basically just pick off champs and allow AHQ to snowball the game early on against NFL. So NFL has to play smart and not get caught out of position by the Fizz.
Yes, welcome to the Summoner's Rift mga kaibigan. Laban sa pagitan ng Team NFL at team ng AHQ. First game for tonight, Week 2, Day 2 of Garena Premier League. So far, they're trying to set their face of the game. NFL. There's no invade. I think possibly na walang magkaroon ng invade dito. And like the usual, they will go for the traditional laning phase, going for a 1-1-2 laning phase and one jungler as well. So wala nang actually ngayon, Jay, less ko nang nakikita yung body system.
Yes.
And I think the players now are
30 seconds until minions
I think
spawn.
discovering the disadvantage of that kind of strategy or yung risk na possible nilang kaharapin sa ganong klase ng strategy. Kasi minsan, yes, you got the first tier turret in the either top or bottom lane, pero ang pinakamahirap doon ay kung paano masaset ng maayos yung objective mo with a good rotation. Kasi yun ang pinakamahirap dito. Maintaining the rotation and getting their objectives very well.
That's right. Alright, so right now we're looking as the game has started. Like you said, there aren't any invades coming from either team at the moment. The blue side or Neo4Lewis has already placed down protective wards all across the river. As you can see, every entrance is warded. While same thing has gone to the HQ side, doing pretty much a similar system here in terms of warding, but they only invested in 2 wards to protect the closer wards near the jungle entrances.
So far, the traditional standard laning phase, we have in the bottom lane both the AD carries and support role. For top lane, we have 2 champions dito, both the solo laners. For lower divisions, yes, like the usual, kanya-kanya lagay ng mga wards dito for the early part of the game, making sure that there's no gank or an invade na magagaling from their opponents. But 2-minute mark mga kaibigan, still getting their CS. For the mid lane, Wester have to be very aggressive in the mid lane. Kailangan mabigay siya ng sobrang harassment dito against Twisted Fate before Twisted Fate got enough level to secure his advantage against Westor.
Yes, I also like to point out that the Dorn shield on supports has actually isn't that common anymore. We used to see it all the time in the last season. Ngayon medyo
Doran's shield has been nerfed before. But right now, unti siya bumabalik. Yet again, very good, wise decision from Gritty dito, getting his Ruby Stone for his first item. Most likely going for Side Stone as soon as possible. He got yung kanyang 400 gold dito.
Yes, alright, so Violet taking some damage coming from the HQ side. Of course, NFL Jeff doesn't have any troubles with the CSS right now with Jinx. Naz visiting the mid lane, unsuccessful gang on SOFM here, Jabite. Garnet Devil being a little bit careful there. You can see here that Morgana is trying to isolate the 2 members in the bottom lane to give Jeff freedom to easily farm here in the bottom lane. Actually, they're winning the push right now. They're forcing the minions under the third of HQ. This will give them also HQ a prime opportunity for their junglers to gank. But right now, the 2 junglers are facing off on the other side of the map here. So Green Tea will be the playmaker for HQ here in the bottom lane if they decide to go all in. There we go.
Because that sentence mga from Green Tea, but just in time, Violet used his Dark Shield, spell shield to survive. I mean,
Her
to
back
null
shield, yeah.
that sentence from Green Tea dito. But like what I said kanina, the problem here is even though nawala yung effectiveness ng death sentence dito, still magkoconnect yung death sentence and he can still use the death sentence once again to initiate an teamfight dito and then use the play to back it up. And surely dominate the teamfight na mangyayari in the later part of the game. And the one more thing na mahirap dito in the bottom lane for Team AHQ is because yes, once na magamit ni Violet yung kanyang spell shield dito, yung zap na magagaling from Garnet Devil sa yung slow niya ay hindi rin ganun na magbibigay ng ng slow for his opponent.
Yeah, actually what's really interesting here, aside from those unusual picks on the Irelia and DF being picked up once again, is the Gragas. We used to, I remember last season, he was the prime reason, he was the always pick or ban champ at the start of the season, and almost every team that picks up Gragas won their game because he was just so powerful back then.
It all started sa LCS. Nakita ko yung first time ko nakita siya dun sa LCS, the tanky Gragas in the top lane. And surely, he is a very tanky champion, pero ang naging problema dito sa kanya, kapag dumating na late game, hindi siya ganun na nagbibigay ng damage output. And well, he is surviving the team clashes, but he's pretty sure that bibigay sa kanya ng disadvantage dito dahil nga, in the late game, ang tanging gagawin lang niya yung kanya explosive cast.
Yeah, and Violet doing a really good job of casting her black shield on herself every time Green Tea throws those death sentences, so she's able to really read Green Tea's hooks coming in. So let's see if she can continue to do that as the game progresses, especially on the more important team fights later on. Right now, of course, Pride's actually on the Gragas is building an AP version of Gragas here, not the tanky type like we used to see way back in last season. And in terms of scenes right now, almost every lane are pretty even. Of course, TF has a slight advantage over Fizz being a ranged champion in the mid lane. But in terms of gold, the gold is a slight lead, about 300 gold advantage in NFL's favor so early in the game. So I do expect a gank sometime soon here. As you can see, Elise has already cleared her first round of the jungle and it's already ended the second round. The initiation into TF here.
SOFM taking a lot of damage in the mid lane. It's first blood for team of AHQ. A good play for AHQ with that gank from the top lane. Wow, that is mga kaibigan. Here comes the slow and zap as well from Garnet Devil. They're chasing down Violet. Here comes the last hit from Garnet Devil. Managed to get up, to get the life of one champion in the bottom lane. Nice team play from Green Team dito. And this you can see, medyo nagulat din si Violet doon dahil nga nakita mo naman na sa paggamit niya ng kanyang spell shield, it's too late for him. Nas trying to steal that red buff for team of NFN dito, but somehow managed to defend the red buff. And ito yung nakuha nila.
Yes, alright, back to the top lane. See here that Irelia and Gragas are still duking it out in this minion CS here, and not much action just yet here. The changes onto Gragas are pretty good if you ask me, but of course, I still do miss that tanky Gragas that they had previously.
You can still be a very tanky champion at this point of time, though hindi na ganun ka heavy tank kasi nga, na-reduce yung I think yung physical damage or yung damage na nare-reduce nung kanyang drunken rage. Actually, dati malaki. Actually, around 50% yata before.
If I'm not mistaken, it used to give a AD whenever he cast the drunken rage, but now it doesn't. So that's why his trading is not as powerful as before, even though he builds tanky. So right now we can see here Green Team will clear this mid move without any problem using her rockets. Of course, every time she uses her rocket, it does consume some mana every time she does that, but nonetheless, managing the mana for Jinx isn't that much of a problem just yet. Alright, she will be going back to base right now. She's already cleared her jungle the second time on the second road. Green Tea here trying to scare away the members of NFL in the bottom lane, but looks like it's pretty passive right now here. It looks like Westdoor and Naz are trying to make a play here, but Fizz has decided to opt to go back into lane while Elite is trying to counter jungle Shyvana at the moment.
NFL managed to get the golems bottom lane dito. So I think one reason kung bakit kailangan ng Riot na mag-adjust na ating Summoner's Rift after natin ng Season 4, nung magbasa ang ating Season 4 dito, mapapansin mo nagkaroon ng bagong minion camp dito. Because medyo hindi nga naman pantay yung ating farming capabilities in the top lane and in the bottom lane as well. If ever na blue team ka, you have the advantage. I mean, if ever na purple team ka and you are in the top lane, you have the advantage here of getting the 2 golems here. Pero kung ikaw ay team of nasa blue team ka, kung wala pang minion cam dito dati, you can't get enough farm for your champion. But since nagkaroon din ng adjustments, nagkaroon ng bagong rates dito, rate na medyo malaki na, at least medyo katumbas siya ng golem dito for your champion. Can surely farm to give enough item for your champion to survive the laning phase.
Which reminds me on the new updated map that League of Legends is working on, that large rate is gonna turn into a toad, and that looks, and I really like how the toad looks like. It's gonna be really interesting to see how the new map will look like once it's completed. So back into the game right now. Shin and SOFM were trying to invade the red buff of AHQ there, but they didn't spot it to be there. SOFM will return back into the lane and try to stop the push or the farming that Fizz is having here. So far, Fizz is doing a really good job. He's actually caught up with CS right now, and of course has already picked up one kill. That early first blood with the help of Gragas from the top lane.
Yes, with that boyfriend sword for both the AD carries in the bottom lane. Pareho silang meron ng best friend sword as their item dito. Both AD carries in the bottom lane still farming very hard. Though merong one kill ahead itong si the Garnet Devil. They really have the advantage against Jeff. But take note, with that double attack from Lucian, he can surely dominate Garnet Devil without the support helping him. So ito isa sa pinakamahirap dito in the bottom lane. To win against a duo bot when you are soloing. Wow! Just in time mga kaibigan, Greenty responding to the win dito. Use that death sentence. He caught SOFM dito with that ignite. Managed to end the life of one champion. Death sentence just in time mga kaibigan. From Greenty dito, they're chasing down Shin. A use of that explosive gas to caught Starfall dito with that death sentence. Coming from Greenty, they're chasing down Starfall. While Prides decided not to chase down Shin dito. So they're getting the first dragon of the game of 4 for an exchange in favor of team of AHQ.
Yes, and actually the spiders of Elite, they're tanking some of the damage there. So easy first dragon for AHQ here, giving them a nice bump of gold lead right now. So almost about, actually it's already 2k in gold advantage for AHQ. 4 kills, and so far no towers being down by either team yet. So I'm quite surprised it's already 12 million mark and none of the towers have gone down yet. Although the CS and almost all the lanes are close to pretty much being even. So that's probably the reason why none of the towers has gone down yet. And both junglers haven't really applied that much pressure on any of the lanes yet. Yes. So this is quite surprising for Naz. Naz is at least supposed to be a high pressure jungler, but hasn't really made any big plays just yet. Unlike Shyvana, who normally focuses on farm really at the early level, Jeff will do his best to try to clear the whole minion wave here in the bottom lane, missing one minion through the third there, and he will go back to. I'm sorry. Garnet Devil will go back to base. Right now, Green Tea is roaming right now.
This is one of the most effective playstyle for a Thresh user. Again, here comes the ultimate kill from Westdoor dito. He's dead though. Westdoor managed to end the life of one champion in the mid lane. SOFM goes down.
That's actually the first time I saw Green Tea miss such an easy
well,
death sentence.
You never know what might happen dito since medyo nagulat din siya siguro. Here comes the zap mga kaibigan. Death sentence! Wow! NFL Jeff got caught. Here comes the ultimate kill from Violet dito. Nahuli si Green Tea. He was sick, he's taking a lot of damage. Here comes the Nakal. Managed to end the life of Green Tea in the bottom lane. 1-5 score. Nice trade for team of NFL.
And then Green Tea making me pay for that last comment of mine, picking up a nice hook. Although he does go down, sadly. There's just too much damage for him to take. He's too far from Jinx to for them to tag team that damage.
Like what I've said kanina, once na magkaroon ng level 6 skill tong both at champions natin in the bottom lane of team NFL, they can surely win the skirmishes between AHQ. I mean against AHQ, but the only problem here for team NFL is how they will maintain the advantage here in the bottom lane. As you can see, 1-0-0 score, both the AD carries in the bottom lane. So ang problema nila dito ay yung CS advantage na meron si Jinx. Not that malaki naman, ang naging problema lang nila dito is HQ got the dragon and no turret so far na nakukuha pa for both teams.
That's right. Alright, so it looks like Shin is in the bottom lane trying to make some plays here. I think they're planning on trying to pick up a kill on
Ito rin.
all 4 members here camping here in the bottom lane since I think they may have spotted out Thresh. There we go, we see
Here
Lucian.
comes Destiny mga kaibigan from Twisted Fate dito, trying to gank Garnet Level in the bottom lane. Garnet Level goes down.
And I think
Fourth
they should have the
champion
tower
from
as
Team
well.
Illusion. Luis. With that 4-man gang, I'm pretty sure no one can survive mga pangyayaring iyon.
I'm pretty sure that was in NFL's playbook from the very start of the game, and right now they're gonna steal away the blue buff of AHQ. This is a very dangerous position for AHQ right now. There's only 3 members here, and blue buff does go to NFL here.
Here comes the ultimate mga kaibigan from Westdoor. Playful Trickster managed to end the life of Shield dito. They're chasing down Ness, however, here comes the Ness provided dito. Ang dash in from Westdoor managed to end the life of one champion. Yes, it's a 3 for an exchange. NFL Gem was left behind, and it's double kill for HQ Ness. And in total, it's 4 for none. What a play from team of HQ.
Yeah, Westdoor wanting his blue buff back so dearly, going down.
He's really mad.
Yeah, he said, I want my blue buff back, and instantly wiped out Shin from the map. And as the rest of NFL tried to close in on him, of course his playful Trickster and nice backup of the crowd control from the rest of his team easily clear out another 3 members. So giving them a 9-2 advantage, once again increasing their gold lead even more to about 4K gold.
So, HQ, sila pwede maging kampante sa laban na to. Because anytime soon, a big mistake lang, or at least one ace for team New Illusion Full Luis, they can surely turn this game around. Kahit sabihin natin 2-9 score the early part of the game, at ang kanilang goal difference ay around 4,000 dito. This is League of Legends. You know kung gaano kabilis yung transition ng game na to.
Yes.
So medyo maging pabaya ka lang sa mga strategy na possible ninyong gawin.
Yeah, but HQ definitely have the superior map advantage as of the moment. As you can see here, they have a 3 tower to 1 advantage.
Actually, vision wise, talaga ng advantage nila dito. Ito ang vision na meron ng team NFL.
Yeah, Green Tea passing through the bush spots out that ward there. They also putting they use a sweeper there to spot out another ward behind the dragon. And as you can see some
3
things
sweeping
coming out.
lens for HQ, while 4 for NFL.
Yeah, HQ being a little bit passive here. I don't really know what Thresh and Jinx are doing right now. NFL planning to do the same play they had a while ago. 4 members now in the mid lane.
They're
And
pushing
like,
the mid lane.
yeah, this is actually a good move coming from NFL that they're grouping up together.
Here comes the ultimate mga kaibigan. Almost connected to Jeff dito. SOF was about to go down. Here comes the explosive cast. Managed to end the life of one champion. Here comes Nas mga kaibigan from the backline. The teleport from Irelia dito. Trying to respond. A double kill for Price. Wow, what a play mga kaibigan. 2 champion of team. NFL goes down na. While NFL Jeff still chases on the champion dito. Starfall being very aggressive. Fizz got a double kill. Starfall mga kaibigan, triple kill. It's an ace. A 5 for 2 exchange in favor of team NFL.
Did you see what HQ Wester did? He used the flash on Clay for Trickster just to change the location where he'll drop, and
Yes.
he was able to pick up a triple kill because of that. Really nice play coming
Very
from
nice.
Wester.
Sobrang ganda ng ginawang pistol dito ni Westor. So it's halos lahat ng team of NFL ay nakafocus sa kanya. They're trying their best to chase down Westor.
Yeah,
Gusto nilang ulihin tong isdang to. Unfortunately for them, masyadong madulas ang isda.
Yeah, Wester really loves using that fizz, I remember, and as you can see until now, you can see why he's so good at that fizz. He really knows how to play fizz to the
And
maximum of
actually,
his ability.
Westor is a player na last season, favorite champion nito si Twisted Fate. So I'm pretty sure that he knows how to counter Twisted Fate very well. Alam niya yung playstyle dito eh. And, when you're using a champion, syempre dapat alam mo kung gaano katagal yung cooldown ng mga skills niya. Level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, depende kung ano yung level na niya at the moment. So you can counter your opponent sa mga mangyayari dito.
Yes, alright, so HQ are grouping up here, of course, there's some wards there. Shin will be backing away there, of course Starfall's nearby. Somehow Shin was still able to pick up that large minion away. I'm not sure if it was Smite or how he got that, but he was still able to pick it up. Alright, as you can see right now, AHQ has already invested a lot of wards, particularly near the blue golem side, and there's like actually two pink wards there, making sure they can control the entire map of NFL. Of course, NFL has heavily invested in wards on their red lizard side. I think SFM will go down here if Price could land kills here. He decides not to chase on SOFM. Actually, I think that would have been the easy kill for him. Surprisingly, he decided not to chase, maybe afraid that the member of NFL might close on to him if he chases on.
Tapos yung NC, nagkaroon na rin ng slow yung kanyang parang role. Like before, wala siyang slow eh. Yung tinit siya na yung utility champion. Head gadget na ginagawa ngayon ng Riot. But AHQ trying to get the bottom of the game. Then send mga kaibigan for Shin. Dito they're chasing down Shin. Shin goes down. Mega death racket for Garnet Devil. Hindi umabot but they have to disengage. Since nag-regen na alas lahat ng buhay ang Baron dito.
Yeah, so they decided not to continue that Baron, although I feel like they do have the upper hand here. They did catch off already Shin. Shin will be alive in about 13 seconds here. Looks like HQ are trying to bait in the NFL squad, but NFL not responding to this. They have decided to resume take on Baron, and looks like they have more than enough power to take this without any problems. Of course, the ultimate of Twisted Fate is already down. There's no way for them to see what's happening with HQ there in the Baron pit. Definitely right now, NFL is getting way outplayed by HQ here. HQ is having a really easy time at this point in the game. They're basically gonna snowball this game. As you see, looking at the gold, it's already almost 9k gold advantage, and the amount of wards they have on the side of NFL, they can really predict the movement of the jungler of NFL at the moment.
Shin have to be a very tanky champion. Kailangan niya ma-secure yung kanyang objective of farming. I mean, getting tanky items for his champion dito to survive the clashes na mangyayari in the later parts of the game. Pero pinaka-problema, as you can see, focus siya sa pagkuha ng kanyang Blade of the Ruined King instead of getting yung item like Sunfire Cape since he is a jungle champion. Since meron siya Negatron Cloak, most probably will go for the usual possible na Banshee's Veil or a Spirit Visage. But since meron silang champion, yung kalaban rin si Twisted Fate, I mean si Fizz and Thresh, siguro possible na Banshee's Veil ang kukunin yan.
NFL definitely had a strategy coming to the game, pero sa tingin ko as of right now, hindi siguro nag-work yung plan nila, and right now they're struggling because they don't really have a backup plan, and HQ is simply have better skilled players. So without the strategy from NFL side working in their favor, they're really struggling how they're gonna handle the rest of the HQ.
Actually, alam, HQ in terms of experience, talaga nila nila kasi ang alam mo yun, alam nila yung pang-counter sa mga possible na mangyari. And here comes the Sonya, mga kaibigan, from Westdoor dito. Dark Passage to save Westdoor in the bottom lane. We got the third tier turret and an inhibitor. Here, the bottom lane, HQ somehow managed to get the inhibitor turret and inhibitor as well. So far with that, they had around 7k gold difference. Almost 8k na. Or 10,000, sorry. For team of HQ.
Yes, and right now, HQ is just like a well-oiled machine. You can see how they move around the map as a team. It works very, very well.
Dead and squeezed out from Gritty dito. Here comes Sokun, mga kaibigan, for Shin. Oh, as you can see, that first, I mean, normal hit from Garnet Devil dito with his rocket surely can give enough damage for Shin dito. And since less yung kanyang armor, more on nakafocus siya sa kanyang magic resist. Ito yung nagiging problema niya. Surely, mahirapan si Westdoor na patayin siya, but they have 80 kills, mga kaibigan. Westdoor is about to go down, and yes, a shutdown from Virenia dito. Starfall diving in. Here comes the Destiny. Shin initiated with his Dragon Form. Managed to drive one champion who would miss out a Destiny from SOFM to disengage here in the mid lane. Somehow, it's a 3-4-2 exchange. Yes, it's still in favor of Team HQ, but yet again, I think magkakaroon turnaround dito. Right! So wow, just in time used that Sonya's Hourglass. And they got the inhibitor turret.
Yeah, very risky play coming from HQ. Of course, they still win it at the end of the day. Right now, Prides and Naz really low on HP here will decide to back off the base. They do still have their Baron buff up, but it should be expiring pretty soon here. With an exposed inhibitor in the mid lane, surely HQ will be able to take this out as soon as Garnet Devil and Green joins the rest of their team.
So HQ have the advantage of going for a clash kanina. Ang pinaka naging problema nila dito ay medyo naging aggressive sila ng sobra, diving into that turret. And as you can see, meron silang Baron buff. So yes, they have the advantage kanina. Pero ayun nga, sobrang naging deep ng pagpasok nila dito. Even Westdoor used his Zonya's Hourglass in the bottom lane kanina before engaging in the mid lane. So ito nagbigay sa kanila ng huge disadvantage. So NFL,
yeah, and I think Jinx was tanking the third Jer when they dived in. That's why namatay siya eh. Alright, so Dragon again for HQ.
yeah, nahuli siya ng Dark Binding kanina. And yes, so far nakikita ko yung potential nitong si Pinky and Nas to protect their comrades talaga kanina. Sobrang deep din nila sa pag-initiate at somehow they managed to survive.
There we see PF trying to clear out the minions here. Even Jeff and Violet trying to take out the super minions. It's taking quite a while here. Trying to find out if sweeper ward coming out from Irene here. Won't be spotting out in the ward. Garnet Devil hammering away down the inhibitor.
Here comes Destiny mga kaibigan. Dark Binding is out. Didn't connect very well mga kaibigan for team of NFL. But HQ, good rotation coming from their team. Getting the inhibitor in the mid lane and going for the top lane.
Yeah, no pressure at all for HQ here. Not rushing anything. They know they already have this game in this bag. They're just cleaning out all, trying to accumulate as much gold as possible.
Yes.
More stats for them at the same time if they pick up more gold and kills, of course.
This kind of strategy should be for talagang secure na panalo. Kasi kung pinilit mo sa mid lane and you have a disadvantage dito mga kaibigan, Westo initiated the team fight. You have to use the Sonya's Hourglass, take advantage of playful. Trickster, he used that Q to initiate for Shin. Ginamit ni Price ang kanyang Sonya just in time. That sentence yung Grinty dito but merong minion from NFL.
Right, Garnet Devil again, very aggressive here. Trying to do as much damage possible to them. Here comes a minion here. We'll go to her minigun. Thresh will provide some protection for her for
Isa pang magandang malaking advantage when you have Elise in your team is yung turret will focus more spiderlings niya instead of going for the champion. So, in terms of pushing potential, HQ greatly the malaki talaga yung advantage nila. So, you see, aware dito ang team ang NFL na nag-record sila since meron silang ward.
Yeah, actually the bottom inhibitor has respawned again. But super minions are still pouring in all lanes here. I think this is the last wave before super minions from the bottom lane will stop spawning. So, I think HQ will probably go end this game right about now. They'll probably push down the mid lane, or I think they may set up for a Baron here. You can see here some pings coming out from HQ at the moment, and maybe after that Baron they will probably end the game.
Destiny to disengage for SOFM dito. He managed to get away from Prides.
Yes, and Baron is up. HQ will have their way with it without any disruption or whatsoever. I really doubt Irelia will be going that close to the Baron since they're so way behind and with so many open inhibitors. HQ basically have this game in the bag already.
Alam mo, so see with 410 AP for Gragas or for Prides at this point of time, nakakapagtaka na hindi mo gano'n na nakikita yung yung parang threat niya as a champion dito to surely burst any champion from team of NFL. Makikita mo na talagang si Westler lang, si Fizz lang mismo, yung champion dito na nagbibigay ng pressure for NFL whether they will initiate or back out dito sa laban na mangyayari against team of AHQ. And 410 AP for an AP carry champion, I think since nga nag-iba yung kanyang 123 bonus AP damage dito for yung kanyang rank range dito, magkakaroon siya ng bonus attack damage. So far for his battle roll, 240 plus 246.
A summoner has
And yung body slam,
disconnected.
246. So bumaba yung AP ratio niya compared to any AP carry.
Yes, he has definitely. That's one of the nerfs they added to him aside from reducing his. Although the damage reduction from his drunken rage is still pretty good, he really is an AP brawler now, more than an AP burst champion.
Utility AP champion. Very nice. Actually, with the slow coming from his barrel roll, yung knock-up na meron niya dito sa kanyang body slam,
A summoner has
more na
disconnected.
talagang pang
A summoner has
possible
reconnected.
siya na gawing support. Actually, nakakita na ako ng Gragas sa support before since nagkaroon siya ng changes ng ating mga patches before. Pero so far ngayon, hindi pa ako nakakita ng talagang na-exploit na medyo kakaibang strategy when it comes to using a Gragas champion. Still, like the usual, tanky or AP champion. AV or AP, it depends kung ano gusto mo. For
Yeah,
Gragas dito.
so we do apologize right now. As you can see on the screens that NFL are experiencing some technical difficulties. They're trying to reconnect back into the game so we can resume the game. As soon as everybody are back into the rift, we will have the game resume, of course. Most likely, of course, there isn't any way for NFL to get back into this game. This is probably just from formality for them to do a last stand before AHQ closes out on this game. Let's see if they can pick up any more kills before this game, and if maybe they could maybe pick up a few more objectives. But of course, as you can see also that HQ has already picked up the Baron buff here, and with the huge gold lead of about more than 16,000 or almost 16,000, this is basically a large item for every single champ on HQ side, so they should have no problem clearing out HQ right now.
Comes teleport mga kaibigan, surprise to the spawn in the mid lane dito. Death sentence connected very well. Once again from Greedy in the mid lane. They're chasing on SOFM. Here comes the initiation from Westor dito. Managed to end up the life of SOFM. And they're getting the Nexus turret to end the game against NFL. Like the usual. Wow, Price diving in, flashing in, and body stab. Combo. Unfortunately, wala siyang exclusive castillo. Yet again, HQ with, wow, 2 golden Buddhas. Actually, 1 golden Buddha and 1
golden fish.
goldfish.
Goldfish.
What a play from Team HQ. Congratulations for first game of tonight.
Yeah, so the game ends in 29 minutes and 51 seconds in favor of HQ. 24 kills to 6 on NFL side, and we're gonna take a look at the match stats of the game. As you can see here, I'd have to say definitely Fizz or HQ Westdoor is the MVP for HQ again.
And 110.
A very dominant match on a game on Fizz for Westdoor, just like the old days. A very scary champion to let through for Westdoor, especially right now since the lineup coming from NFL is a little bit unorthodox to say the least, and it's very easy for HQ Westdoor to pick on the champions of NFL.
10-1-10 score for Westdoor alone with that 14.3 gold total throughout the game.
Yes, alright, so congratulations again to HQ. Of course, we will have a few more matches tonight. Later on, we will have IPT on our third match of the night, so stay tuned for that. We're going to take a short break. Thank you, Flummerers, for watching, and we'll be right back after a short break.
Again mga kaibigan, you're watching the Garena Premier League 2014, the summer season, laban sa pagitan ng Team HQ at Team ng NFL. HQ got the first win of the day. So far, mamaya tignan natin ulit kung sino yung magnalaban. Stay tuned lang kayo, makikita nyo yung schedule after namin magsalita dito and sa break namin. Again, thank you very much, I'm Sphere.
And I'm Jay.
See you later.